In dealing with debt today, an important topic as Americans struggle with their finances. It may look attractive to tap into a home equity line of credit, better known as HELOC. It can be a great source to get money coming in, but there are some caveats. We have Tendayi Kapfidze, Chief Economist of LendingTree, here to answer some questions. Thanks so much for being here. And at what point should someone tap into their home's equity, and what's the best way to go about getting a line of credit?
The first thing, of course, is to have some equity, right? So typically, to get a home equity loan, you need to have, an LTV below 80%, which means that you need to have more than 20% of your house paid off, and then you borrow into that, typically up to a limit of around 80%. So you got to have some equity, number one. Number two, you got to find a lender that's willing to work with you. The home equity market has really shrunk significantly since the financial crisis because a lot of lenders, they don't want to be in a position where they are the second person in line to get paid if something goes wrong. So typically a home equity or a HELOC is what we call a second lien. So the first mortgage or the primary mortgage, let's say if somebody defaults and that property is sold off, that first mortgage lender gets paid off first before the home equity lender gets paid off. So since the crisis, less and less lenders want to be in that second lien position. So typically the way to get a home equity loan is to get it from the same lender that you have your primary, your main mortgage with.
What are some caveats or potential traps of tapping into home equity lines of credit?
I wouldn't necessarily call it a trap, but the risk, of course, is that the loan is secured by your house. And so if you run into trouble and you're unable to pay, whether you have just a home equity or whether you have a mortgage and a home equity, if you're unable to service that debt, they can come and make a claim, of course, on your property. So that's the risk that you're taking. And the way to kind of deal with this is that, you make sure, plan your way out of debt before you get into debt. So if you're taking a home equity loan, have a solid plan as to, I'm going to pay off this loan over this amount of time period using this amount of money, whether I'm getting in this particular way. Which typically is your employment. But sometimes some people like to, take a home equity loan even though they have significant savings. So if you have savings, that can also be something that can help you pay off the loan. So have a plan to get out before you get in, and that's how you stay out of trouble.
What else do we need to know?
I think in terms of home equity, it's a low-cost loan compared to things like credit cards, personal loans, auto loans, etc. So it's a good way to get debt at a lower interest rate, which ultimately, means that you get lower monthly payments. So another way that people use home equity is to consolidate other debt that they have, whether it's credit card debt, personal loans, student loans, etc., because you can get a lower interest rate on the home equity loan. And then a big thing to know about home equity loans is that if you're using them for home improvement or to make renovations to your house, you may be able to get some tax deduction on the interest. If you're using it for almost any other purpose, you are likely not to be able to get tax deduction. But make sure maybe talk to your tax guy about that before you decide on whether or not you're getting the home equity loan. Make sure you understand the tax treatment because there may be some savings in there, or if you were anticipating savings from tax, there may be some unexpected costs that you hadn't thought of. So figure out the tax part as well when you do the home equity loan.
Is now a good time to apply for a home equity loan?
Absolutely, because mainly interest rates are really low. Rates are low because, what happened with coronavirus and the response from the government and the Fed and what investors think the economy is doing. So it's a good time to get a loan because rates are going to be relatively low compared to other times that you get the loan. And also make sure you understand whether you're getting a fixed rate or a variable rate. Typically, if you're getting a home equity loan where you get all the money up front, that's going to be a fixed rate. If you're getting a home equity line of credit where you can just, periodically go and get the money when you need it, that's often going to be a variable rate. So make sure you understand which of those two you're getting. And as always, we always say, shop around for the best deal. But with a home equity loan, your best place to go might be the lender that currently holds your mortgage.
Great information. I know this has to be on the minds of a lot of people. We hope to have you back.
Yeah, anytime. You guys just let me know. Be glad to do it.
For more Business First AM, check us out on social media. We're on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. And go to businessfirstam.com for where to see our show on TV.